We've always been told to trust our own eyes, right? But what happens when you can't? We are living in a brand new, pretty unsettling reality where seeing something is absolutely no guarantee that it's real.
So let me ask you that directly. What actually happens when you can't trust what you see? When a video of a world leader or a family member or even you can be faked so perfectly that it is impossible to spot the lie? Well, for actress Sydney Sweeney, this wasn't just some thought experiment, it was a public nightmare. This exact technology was turned into a weapon and used against her, creating a fake scandal that just completely blew up online. Okay, so let's get right into it. How in the world does a rising Hollywood star become the bullseye for such a sophisticated, nasty digital attack? Well, it all starts with fame, and it ends with exploitation. So back in early 2024, the phrase Sydney Sweeney leak just exploded all over X. But here's the real twist. This wasn't just about the fake videos. Scammers totally hijacked the trend, using all that buzz to spread malicious software. And that right there reveals the two-sided threat of deepfakes. They aren't just an attack on a person's reputation, they're also a Trojan horse for massive cybercrime. To really wrap our heads around how this happened, we've got to break down the technology that makes it all possible. So what is a deepfake anyway? The official definition, according to the Australian e-Safety Commissioner, is a digital file of a real person that's been edited using artificial intelligence to create an extremely realistic but totally false version of them. The key ingredient here is the AI. That's what makes a deepfake so different from, say, just a bit of Photoshop. It's what makes them so powerful and, frankly, so dangerously convincing. And here's the really scary part. The recipe for making one of these is becoming shockingly simple. It starts with data collection, basically just grabbing public photos and videos of the person you're targeting. Then you train an AI model on that data until it learns their face, their expressions. After that, the AI generates the fake, seamlessly blending the target onto a different video. One final polish to make it look real, and the deception is complete. I mean, what used to take a Hollywood-level special effects team can now be done with tools you can find online. And let's be crystal clear, this technology is not being used for harmless pranks. We are dealing with a full-blown epidemic. The main reason people are using this stuff is to create abusive, non-consensual material, and the scale of the problem is just staggering. Just look at this number, 95,820. That's how many deepfake videos a single study found online in 2023. And you've got to remember, that's just what they were able to find. This isn't happening in some dark corner of the web. It's a massive and rapidly growing mainstream problem. And out of all those tens of thousands of videos, the purpose behind them is chillingly clear. A jaw-dropping 98% of them are sexually explicit. This isn't a side use of the technology. Creating non-consensual pornography is its primary application right now. And it gets even more specific. Within that 98%, the victims are almost exclusively women. We're talking 99%. This is not random. It is a targeted, deeply gendered form of digital violence, and it is being weaponized against women at an absolutely astronomical rate. And if you're sitting there thinking, well, this is horrible, but it only happens to famous people like Sydney Sweeney, you need to think again. In New South Wales, a high school student was investigated for allegedly creating deepfakes of his own female classmates. In Canberra, a man created over 100 explicit fakes of 16 public servants. The message here could not be clearer. You do not have to be famous to become a victim. Anybody can be a target. So let's circle back to Sydney Sweeney. Why her? To really get why she became such a huge target, you have to look at the relentless cycle of public scrutiny she was already trapped in. This non-stop scrutiny machine. I mean, just look at this timeline. It's a constant drumbeat of scrutiny, from backlash over a family party to controversies over ad campaigns in her personal life. Every headline, every photo, every online debate, it all just adds up. And each one of those events creates more public data, more pictures, more videos, more angles of her face. It's literally the raw material needed to feed the AI to make a convincing deepfake. And of course, behind all the headlines, there's a real human cost. This quote, I think, really gets to the heart of it. Sweeney has talked openly about feeling dehumanized by the way her body is constantly sexualized. So the deepfake attack, it wasn't some random event. It was the technological escalation of a problem she was already fighting every single day. So why does one celebrity's digital nightmare matter to the rest of us? because this story, it's not really just about Sydney Sweeney. It's a huge warning shot about the world that all of us are navigating right now.
We are truly at a crossroads. This technology forces us to question, well, everything. Our identity, what consent even means, and the very nature of truth online. The big problem is that the tech is moving at light speed, while our laws are just struggling to keep up. And that leaves a lot of people incredibly vulnerable. And it all really comes down to this one final and deeply unsettling question. In a world of perfect fakes, who really owns your face?